Hello! Today we're going to take a look at the Motion Detector module in XEOMA video surveillance software. Motion Detector is one of the most commonly used modules in XEOMA. It allows the program to detect movement in the frame and respond in various ways, such as starting a recording, sending notifications, or triggering other modules down the line. Let's take a look at the main settings of the Motion Detector. Click on the module's icon to open its settings menu. In the top right corner, you'll see a thumbnail preview of the image from the camera, along with a status indicator showing the current state of the module, a green label saying triggered, or a yellow one saying not triggered. Next to it, there's a toggle switch that lets you enable the module, set it to ignored state, or disable it. If you'd like to use the detector, please keep the toggle switch in the enabled position. Below, you'll find the basic module settings, but before adjusting them, we recommend scrolling all the way down and clicking Show Detailed Settings. We'll talk about the first two options, use the high-resolution stream from archive and continuous operation to enable search in the archive, a bit later. For now, let's focus on the most important basic settings. The sensitivity threshold slider controls how sensitive the motion detector is. The lower the threshold, the less movement it takes to trigger the module and switch it to the triggered state. Conversely, the higher the threshold, the more intense the movement needs to be to trigger it. In other words, the higher the threshold, the lower the sensitivity is. Based on our experience, the movement of a person in the frame typically registers at a level of 20 to 35, while a car is usually around 35 to 60. So, we recommend setting the sensitivity threshold somewhere in that range. You can also find the optimal sensitivity setting yourself by observing the current level scale when the type of movement you're interested in appears in the frame. The next setting is Disregard Motion Shorter Than. This option lets you set a time threshold. Any motion shorter than this duration will be ignored, no matter how intense it is. For example, if you set it to 1 second, any motion lasting less than 1 second will be disregarded, even if its intensity reaches 100. To avoid false triggers caused by vibrations, glare, or other minor interferences, we recommend setting this value to 500 milliseconds. The third option is Post-Record. This setting defines how long the motion detector will remain triggered after the motion has stopped. Typically, post-record is used to keep the archive recording going for a short time after motion ends. We'll talk more about motion-based recording in the next part of this video. In the Detection Method drop-down menu, you can choose one of several operating modes for the module. The Compare Adjacent Frames mode is selected by default and works best in most cases. The Compare to the Accumulated Background mode is recommended when there are constantly moving elements in the frame, such as clouds, trees, or waves. In this mode, such repetitive movement is ignored. As the name suggests, the Ignore Shadows mode should be used when the frame includes dynamic lighting conditions that cause shadows to move. The Camera Embedded Motion Detector option allows you to use the motion detection feature built into the camera itself, if the camera supports the ONDIF protocol. Next, we recommend selecting a detection zone. Motion is only detected in the areas marked in red within the detection zone selection window. By default, most of the frame is already marked, but if you want to select a different area, you can easily do this by using the brush tool. Click on Mark All and then mark the desired area in the frame. If the brush size isn't suitable, you can adjust it using the brush size slider. Made a mistake? Just switch the brush to unmark mode and remove the unnecessary marked areas. You can also quickly select the entire frame by clicking Mark All. The purple rectangle in the center of the window represents the maximum object size for motion detection. If you want to detect smaller objects, like pets, while ignoring larger ones, such as people, adjust the maximum size of object slider so that the purple rectangle matches the largest object you want to detect. The minimum object size is configured in the same way and can be used to filter out small objects like leaves, birds, or pets. The Detect Only the Absence of Movement during slider allows you to set the amount of time during which no movement must be detected in the frame for the module to switch to the triggered state. This option is useful when monitoring constantly moving objects such as machines, production lines, or engines. If the movement stops, XEOMA will notify you about that. Below you'll find the car recognition and the human recognition switches. These features are only available if at least one XEOMA Pro license is activated on the server. Once you enable one of these options, you'll see a recognition accuracy slider along with a loading data message. Wait for the loading to complete, then set your preferred accuracy level. For both people and vehicles, we recommend a recognition accuracy between 60 and 75%. When recognition is enabled, the motion detector will only respond to the selected type of object, ignoring everything else. The final setting is Save Data in CSV Report. A CSV report is a table document that logs the date and time of each motion detection event, along with the module's ID. To enable this feature, simply turn this toggle switch and choose a folder where the report should be saved. By default, the report will be stored in the Reports folder in the XEOMA directory. The Use the High Resolution Stream from Archive option determines whether the high or low resolution stream will be used for motion detection. If you expect that moving objects will be relatively large, and especially if you have a large number of cameras, we recommend not enabling this option. Motion detection requires the video stream to be decoded, that is, unpacked from its compressed format. Decoding is done by the processor, so using this option across many motion detector modules can lead to significant CPU load. The last setting we'll cover is continuous operation to enable search in the archive. When enabled, motion detector will always remain in the triggered state. This means that along with video, XEOMA will save metadata to the archive, allowing you to search for motion events later on. Note, if you've finished configuring the motion detector but it still doesn't trigger when movement appears in the frame, check the yellow message at the top of the settings menu. A message saying filtered out due to sensitivity settings means that one of the sensitivity parameters is set too strictly for the current level of motion. The specific setting causing the issue will be highlighted in yellow. Another message that can be displayed is filtered out due to minimum or maximum object size settings. In that case, review the corresponding object size settings located below the detection zone selection window. Now motion detector is configured and ready to work. Now let's figure out how to set up motion-based archive recording in XEOMA. To enable archive recording based on motion, the motion detector module must be placed between the universal camera and preview and archive modules. What you see now is the simplest module chain for motion-based archive recording. When motion is detected in the frame, the motion detector will switch to the triggered state. This way the signal will reach the preview and archive module and recording will begin. If you previously enabled continuous operation to enable search in the archive, this chain will record continuously, while letting you search the archive by motion. Now let's make a more advanced module chain by adding a scheduler module. We recommend placing the scheduler before the motion detector. Open the scheduler settings, select the weekdays and time when you want motion detection to be active. Now, the scheduler will be triggered only during the specified time. If motion occurs outside of that time frame, the motion detector won't trigger because the scheduler will not pass the signal. This is useful, for example, if you want to record motion only during business hours. If you'd like to receive notifications on motion detection, you can simply connect any notification module directly to the motion detector and configure it. The most commonly used notification modules are sending email and Telegram bot notifications. Now, when motion matching your settings appears in the frame, the archive will start recording, which will be indicated by the red rec sign in the top right corner of the screen. If you previously enabled the continuous operation to enable search in the archive option, you can search the archive by motion. To do this, select the desired camera and click on the play button on the lower panel. Then open the archive menu and navigate to Archive Search, Search by Motion. Select the part of the frame where you expect to see the motion and wait for the search process to finish. As a result, the segments of archive with motion within the selected part of the frame will be highlighted in green on the timeline. You may have also noticed that moving objects are highlighted with a green frame. This motion visualization can be enabled by going to Layouts menu, Visualization Settings, and clicking Turn on Visualization. If you also enable the Turn on Movement Track Visualization additional option, green dots will appear on the screen, showing the trajectory of the moving object. That's all about motion detector settings in XEOMA for today. If you have any questions, please check out our complete user manual or contact XEOMA's tech support team for free. You'll find the links in the description.